Hi, guys. Today I want to talk about a topic that has really been showing up in my other groups and things. And I think it's because of the winter time, the rodents and things are seeking shelter in warm places, food, places to nest. So I was looking up things online and I found an article by Stacy Bressler, and it was written August 21st, 2024 or 21. I don't know. I can't read my own writing sometimes. Anyway, she wrote 15 tricks to actually keep mice out of your RV. And it doesn't include Irish Spring soap. Okay, she says plug in an electronic repellent. Store all food and paper products in plastic or glass. And most of these things have been listed on groups, so bear with me here. I have a couple of things. Maybe you haven't heard of them. Grandpa Gus, a spray deterrent. Copper mesh tightly packed at pipe and wiring entrances. Mouse blocker foam. I'm assuming that's something you can spray something like Expandifoam or something into places around your pipes, gaps, things like that. Undercarriage lubricant. I have no idea what that is. Maybe it's something grease up the places that the mice can't get a grip. A fresh cab in all cabinets. Maybe that's some kind of air freshener. I don't know about that either. Coyote or fox pee? No, I wouldn't do that. You might attract coyote and fox. Mess-free contained traps. Now, I was watching the Got Out channel, and he did this. He was getting mice underneath the hood of his truck and by his engine compartment, and he was terrified they were going to chew his wires, battery cables, and things. So he tried different kinds of traps, including the contained trap. It didn't work. He ended up going to the old standby snap trap, and those worked very well. They put collars around the power and water and dump hookups. Greased the entrances. Cornmeal and baking soda. Cedar oil and panty liners. And they use predator control, aka a cat. She says an actual physical barrier is the only foolproof way to keep mice out. And deters, and deterrents tend to be easier, cheaper fix, according to this article. However, if you want to take care of long term, it's best to spend the time to do it right as soon as you can. On to my second page, guys. Okay, so this means physically block all holes leading in and from outside your area. And I'm pretty sure if you can see light through it, a mouse can squeeze through it. I've seen them. They can flatten out pretty thin. Electronic repellents plug in for indoors and solar powered for outdoors. The pros to that, and are there these are my opinions. I forgot to say that. The pros, in my opinion, are there aren't any sprays or work involved. They work by emitting a certain frequency that drives mice and other pests crazy. It seems in less than a week, most mice clear out of the area and stay out. The con, according to me, is there's the saying, the most mice. That means there's still some that are going to stay or get in there. So they recommend a 6-pack of these ultrasonic pest repellents, putting one per space as they do not penetrate walls. So if you have 6 spaces, you'll have 6. The con to me on that would be they will not prevent the rodent from entering anywhere below the signal. So if on top of your counter spaces in an RV, that I think that's all the electrical outlets are up higher. That's not going to prevent them from coming in underneath. And I don't know about those, just that's what I'm guessing that would probably happen. They say the solar powered repeller is motion activated and is a great option for extra outdoor protection at your campsite or storage spot. I have my doubts about it. If you've had any and they work for you, please comment so the other viewers would know about them. Because, like I said, this is a kind of hot topic in the RV world. Um, they say storing things into small plastic containers of their own. Airtight is better, as your food will stay good longer and way less smells. Now, I'd like to comment on that. The sense of smell for an animal is way more powerful than ours. So even if we don't smell the food, they're most likely are going to smell it. Because you're always going to have a residue where you've prepared food. There's always going to be a trace smell. So keep that in mind. They would love to grab any and all the paper goods they can to create nests and bedding. So your toilet paper, things like that, you may want to store that in something quote unquote quote mouse proof. Grandpa Gus's spray, they say to spray entrances and exits of your camper, problem or areas of concern such as wires and pipe entry points for extra potency. Soak some cotton balls with spray, place in a small tin. So, I don't know. What's the name of those powerful mints? They come in a tin.
Altoids.
Altoids. Okay, so you get those tins that Altoids come in. What they're suggesting is you take something like that and you poke holes in it, and then you put these cotton balls soaked with this repellent in there. Um, yeah, and you lay them around the areas that you don't want them. So they claim that may last longer than just throwing a cotton ball down there. Slow down the evaporation, I assume. So something that resembles an air freshener box so that the smells stay longer. I think I described that pretty good. Now, I've read and referred to the Camping Advisor info before, and that's a website, the Camping Advisor, or Camping Advisor info. But if you're like me, most of the time, I just want someone to tell me about it. I don't necessarily want to read a whole page or a whole article about something. Just give me the short version, so that's what I'm going to do for you here. They talk here about mice in the RV underbelly or ceilings, and here are the 7 ways to get rid of mice, they say. The ceiling, they suggest sheets of glue paper, glue traps, but you need to be able to dispose of them by yourself or, you know, decease them. So you got to be kind of tough for that. They have non-kill traps. The con must take very far away, or they'll just come right back since there's a food source there or a warm spot. Pepper oil. They are saying it will repel mice. However, in my observations of many complaints listed in my camping groups on Facebook and things, the peppers and mints are not deterring the little darlings. Okay, I've read enough. I got tired of reading that. You know how I get. I'm positively convinced at this point that questions and solutions about this subject has been and seems will never end. And here I go again. We don't want certain things such as mice, wild dangerous animals, snakes, etc. living in our spaces. We have just enough education and experience to know these things can be carriers of many illnesses, can do a lot of damage and so on. But the ways we are attempting to deal with them are very confusing to me. As people, some say, kill it, they're done, no discussion. Handled it, no need to dwell on it. And back in the other generations, that's how it was. You don't sit there and dwell on it, talk about it, make that the topic of conversation. Some are saying, oh, I want it to live, but not in my space. To me, my opinion only, and in no way trying to convince anyone, any choice is worse than the other. Sorry, I'm not trying to convince that any choice. Everybody has their own choice, okay? But seriously, is this a big deal? Is it a big problem to society today? If so, to what degree? There are people with companies being paid to deal with these things, right? Companies are making billions on selling us many products to help resolve every little inconvenience that we may have. Think about that. When someone asks for help, for example, I need help mowing my yard today, the other person may hear, or that person may hear the person they're asking, just go hire someone. Well, that's not what they asked. If they were asking you for help. So, listen, that goes back to another video I was talking about listening and reactions. Maybe you're not able to do it. Maybe you don't have time to do it. I'm not condoning you for that. What I'm saying is, don't be so quick to snap back with an answer, because they may not be in a financial position. It may have taken them a lot of strength and talking with themselves to actually ask for help. So do your best. And if you can't help them in that way, try helping them find a solution. Or set a time. If you don't have time right then, set a time where you can come back maybe later that day to help them figure it out. So many different solutions everyone can give, and I can guarantee almost all of their solutions would consist of spending money instead of sweat. Just a thought I have quite often when I see someone post in a group specifically titled hacks, helps, and the like. This kind of breaks my heart. They make fun of them. They act like, they let them feel like they're stupid for asking a question. Well, I feel like telling them, look, buddy, you didn't know until somebody told you, or you didn't learn it until you went through it, so shut the heck up. Anyway, I can go on rants. I can remember as a child my parents' well pump going out in the dead of winter. And neighbors came out because they saw my dad out there working on it with the light and the blowing snow and the cold. And they just came out to check on him and see if everything was all right. And they called other neighbors, and whoever had well pump parts and lights and ways to stay warm, they all came. Like, everybody had something to offer, and they all came. And I never heard anyone saying, okay, well, you'll have to wait and call someone to fix it. It just makes me sick how people are nowadays. They just figure a dollar bill will fix anything. It seems like, I feel like screaming sometimes. How and why are people becoming so focused on the wrong things? And instead of checking on a neighbor, they'd rather talk about them. Instead of writing citations, like in a HOA, or calling the law about your neighbor's long grass or junkyard. How about trying to find out the evidence that they're lazy or that whatever. Um, Not all of them are going to run you off. And sure, you'll have those that say, go mind your own business. Well, then you are minding your own business when you do have to report them and things. That is your business. But also, it's your business to find out the evidence and get to the bottom of things. And don't be so quick to respond in a negative way or dismissive way to everyone. If you appear to them the type of person that would be safe to come to ask a question, then be that person. That may not be who you are, but fake it till you make it. Be decent to people. And please subscribe to my channel and definitely like or dislike. Your feedback is most welcome. Everything is positive. Happy day.